Beneath the silent night sky, $6 billion worth of unseen metal cut through the dense clouds, hurtling toward the Persian Gulf. Suddenly, intelligence monitors across Washington blared red, signaling that Tehran's air defense systems had locked onto an incoming target. Inside the war room, hearts pounded against ribs while commanders realized there was no turning back from the impending storm. However, this was not just another routine military exercise, it was the fateful morning the United States directly struck Iran. But to understand how this nightmare unleashed, we must look back at weeks of escalating political theater and dangerous brinkmanship. Meanwhile, vital global shipping lanes in the Gulf had effectively stalled, choking off the economic bloodline of multiple world powers. Furthermore, strategic intelligence confirmed that hidden centrifuges deep buried beneath mountains had finally crossed the critical threshold. So, faced with imminent nuclear posture, the president picked up the direct line and issued the ultimate executive authorization. Consequently, 3 carrier strike groups pivoted vector simultaneously, positioning over 100 strike aircraft directly off the Iranian coast. On the other side, subterranean radar stations detected the sudden surge in Allied communications and raised maximum defensive posture. Consequently, commanders across the desert keyed launch codes into mobile strike platforms, preparing for immediate devastating asymmetrical retaliation.
Control, this is Spectre 1, target grid is active. We are ready for the execute order.
Thus, as midnight struck, both world-class militaries held their breath, waiting for the inevitable spark to hit the powder keg. Suddenly, dozens of sea-launched cruise missiles tore through the surface, roaring silently toward radar stations across the coastline. Impacting key defense grid nodes within seconds, fireballs blinded coastal surveillance before any sirens could even begin screaming. Immediately, heavy anti-aircraft guns opened up into the darkness, chewing air with thousands of blind tracer rounds. Meanwhile, stealth strike packages lined up their crosshairs on deeply fortified underground bunkers hidden within granite mountain roots. Seconds later, 30,000-pound penetrator munitions struck, sending violent shockwaves pulsing directly through the bedrock beneath. However, Iranian naval units responded instantly, unleashing swarms of high-speed attack boats loaded with deadly anti-ship weaponry. Simultaneously, close-in weapon systems aboard Allied destroyers roared alive, destroying incoming threats mere hundreds of yards out. Yet, despite fierce resistance, the core elements of the enemy command network were systematically erased in minutes. As a result, air superiority collapsed, leaving vital strategic infrastructure exposed to waves of precision follow-up munitions. Then, a heavy stillness descended over the burning desert as the final wave of strike aircraft cleared airspace. Now, as morning light broke over the smoking ruins, the full scale of the destruction stood starkly revealed. Beyond the military casualties, the geopolitical fabric of the entire region lay fundamentally torn to pieces overnight. Furthermore, international peace treaties forged over decades dissolved into air, replaced by cold silence and swift economic chaos. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens walked through ash-covered streets, realizing their lives had been permanently altered by decisions made elsewhere. Consequently, global markets plummeted instantly, sending shockwaves of instability radiating through every major capital across the globe. Ultimately, the strategic map had changed forever, leaving strategist columns calculating the true human cost of absolute escalation. Because while tactical objectives were achieved with ruthless efficiency, the cycle of vengeance was only just beginning its arc. In war, victory is often just a shadow, an illusion paid for in blood, leaving only questions in the dust.